All right, Shalom. This is the brother Nahalia from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasha Allah, and a sincere salutation to all Yuakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwat, who are believing this word, and all truth and in sincerity. Yahweh is the name of the one you ignorantly call God. Yahweh Shai is the name of the one they ignorantly call Jesus. Bahashem is in the name, Rakar is spirit, Kodash is holy, Akyam is brothers, Akwath is sisters. Shalom means peace, and Yashar Allah is Israel in the ancient Paleo Hebrew. All right, so I want to go into a lesson through the spirit on this video, AI Dystopia with Whitney Webb. All right, and before we begin with the video, I want to grab this, Revelation the 13th chapter. All right, and I will start at verse 14. All right, and it reads, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right, and when you look at what Esau Edom is doing, all right, Esau Edom, beginning with their elites, they're creating a digital, it's already the revived Roman Empire, but now they're taking it a step further with the advent of technology, all right, to basically automate and create a digital empire. All right, this is how Esau is trying to prop himself up as God, basically using technology to do so. And the MOTB, the mark of the beast, is extremely important to that. All right, because again, the MOTB, for those who don't know, the mark is going to be the RFID CHIP. All right, that is going to be made mandatory, and it's going to be a form of identification. All right, it's also going to be a way for you to have payment. All right, Esau may implement universal basic income as an incentive, but how is he going to govern that system? He's going to govern it through AI, through technology. All right, this is why the MOTB is really the foundation of it, if you will, because with everybody locked into the system with an implant, now you have the ability to find people, to filter people, to control people, to censor people in a way that the world has never seen before. All right, so let's go into this clip. Lord willing, this be edifying.
Yeah, some of the censorship stuff has been was a little bit insane then, and has carried on.
It's only going to get more insane.
How bad?
Yeah, because they're trying to put AI in charge of the internet, and not just in charge of censoring what's on the internet, but also having AI make the lion's share of online content. So supposedly by 2025, generative AI like ChatGPT is going to produce like 96 or something % of everything you read online, which means their mainstream media journalists are going to be like completely replaced by them.
And I want to make a point through the spirit that, brothers have noticed that, beginning with our apostles on down, that, videos get censored, channels get taken down. So really, when you look at it, this word was one of the points of attack, if you will, with digital censorship. When you deal with brothers, channels being taken down, and I'm talking about brothers with 20 subscribers, brothers with less than 1,000 subscribers, brothers with a little over 1,000 subscribers. It wasn't the big, huge channels, and that was the admin. That was the beginning of it. And now you start to see, even now for brothers who do the work, you see videos get striked, videos get taken down from 2 or 3 years ago. All right. And this is Esau slowly but surely, gradually implementing AI to do that work. At one point, they had YouTubers, or they had people in the YouTube department or Google department that would literally have to watch the videos to figure out what's offensive and take it off. Now AI is taking that place. And what Whitney Webb is saying is that a lot of news, a lot of the information people get is from AI. Is at a certain point, it's not even going to be actual people making these articles. All right, now I want to bring this out because that goes back into prophecy as well. That's a point of prophecy. All right, this is Amos 8:11, and it reads, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And the censorship is going to play a big role in that. All right. She's making very important statements concerning what Esau is doing, because again, this is his way of trying to win the information war. He's going to have AI do all the legwork. This is why brothers' videos get taken down, and the videos are being scanned by AI algorithms. And that's why brothers have to kind of speak in code to say certain things without the video being taken down. All of that is the implementation of AI into the program. And this is how Esau is going to prop himself up as a god, man. All right, by using this technology. And through that, the Lord's going to implement the famine of the word. Because at that point, the elect have been sealed. And at that point, there's no use for the word to be in such abundance, if you will. The access to the word is going to be taken away. And this is Esau. This is how Esau is doing it on the left-hand side. But really, it's the Lord doing that to take the word out. All right, but this is showing you where the image of the beast is headed. It's headed into a digitized dystopia. All right, where you don't have freedom of speech. You don't have the ability to do what you want. You're constantly watched. You're constantly taxed. All right, so let's continue.
I think there have been some magazines that have been caught using ChatGPT to write their stories already. I think Sports Illustrated was one. But
Wow.
only gonna get crazier. And so when you have AI both like producing and then curating, i.e. censoring, everything, then AI dominates the information environment, and whoever programs AI and stipulates like what information is okay and who isn't has like unprecedented control. And when you consider that most people today get their information from online or digital sources, that's unprecedented control of what people, not just how the information that people like read and receive, but also, I mean, you're manipulating people, how people perceive reality. And that obviously translates into how people behave. And actually, Henry Kissinger, who I'm sure died recently, and the guy that he named as his heir, which is Eric Schmidt, the former Google CEO, wrote a book on AI explicitly about that, and how AI is basically going to control how we perceive reality by taking control of online content in its entirety. And that us becoming increasingly dependent on AI for everything is going to cognitively diminish people, so that we won't be able to perceive reality or make sense of anything without AI doing it for us.
It's gonna be like, have you seen the film? You seen Wall-E or Wall-E?
So I want to touch that real quick through the spirit. All right, let's get Matthew 24. All right, it's Matthew 24 and 22. And the reason, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Because what our people really realizing it, if the Lord didn't intervene, there's not a happy ending to this. A lot of our people don't want the will of the Lord to take place. They don't want, they got a certain level of comfort in this society and they want it to continue. If the Lord don't get in front of this, there's nothing good coming to this place. The ones who rule this society, they don't have good intentions concerning the future. And this is why the Lord got to step in, man. All right, all of these things. And it's beautiful because, again, Esau's a cunning hunter. People are addicted to social media. And at a certain point, you have a lot of what they call content creators, right? Esau's going to implement AI. AI is going to do the majority of the content creation. And then you're going to have another class of people who don't have any use in this society. AI is going to take a lot of those jobs that don't require certifications. This is why there's a conversation about universal basic income. All of these things are basically the writing on the wall. And our people don't realize that if the Lord don't come back, there's nothing good planned for you. It's not even anything good planned for the average so-called white person in this world, much less you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because they're speaking, and they're not speaking as if they're above this situation. They're right in the mud of it. When this system is implemented, it's going to affect everyone. That's why the elites, they sit on top of the society, and at this point, they've added their own people to the food chain. All right, matter of fact, let's get this. All right, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 14, and I'll jump down to verse 5. It says, "He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods." And you have to think, the same man who poisons the water that not only he has to drink, well, I would say his people has to drink. You know, the processed food, his people are affected by that. You know, the unrighteous decrees, his people are affected by that. So if he's evil to himself, to whom will he be good? And this is why, again, Matthew 24 and 22, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Because what she's saying is that if you have this play out centuries, people's reality is going to be so distorted that they wouldn't know up from down, nor would they care. And our people don't take these things into consideration because, again, there's a whole game being played above our head. And the only reason we're aware of it through the Spirit is because the Lord has blessed us with eyesalve to understand these mysteries, to understand the intent of Esau and what the Lord's intent is overall, most importantly. All right, so let's continue.
Yeah, like maybe years and years and years ago, where the
So we're
people
just
are
gonna be
on
like,
the,
look,
yeah.
in the pods drinking milkshakes.
Yeah, but worse than that, because it seems like they're sort of like, you know, they have some sort of cognitive faculty left. What Kissinger and Schmidt say is that people are going to lose that. And it's the plan that they lose that.
Maybe they just won't need us anymore.
Well, I think, you know, if people can't control how they perceive reality, they're no longer capable of critical analysis and thought. It's very easy to decide what you do with people.
So where does that put you then in terms of AI?
All right, so let's go here real quick. This is Revelation chapter 13 and 15. All right, and it reads, "And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed." Now, right now, they're doing that through basically social pressure. Like, if you're not down with where the society is headed, there's a certain demonization that comes with that. You know, you're treated as an outcast in the society. But eventually, you know, Esau's going to turn up the heat. And the MOTB is the number one way of separation. Because when you go into this word, all right, let's go into this word killed. All right. So killed, we have apokteno. All right, and it says to kill in any way, whatever. Now, when you go into the root, apo, all right, it says of separation. Because when you don't have the RFID CHIP and they implement this system, you're basically locked out of society. At that point, you don't have an ID. You may not have access to certain places, certain parts of the cities. You definitely don't have access to buying and selling. And this is a way of not even having to go individual by individual. If you implement something like that, it's almost like having a card, a debit card without an RFID. Remember, there used to be debit cards for those who are older. There used to be debit cards with no chip. And when they made that transition, your card that didn't have a chip just stopped working. And if you wanted access to your money, you couldn't even go to the ATM with that card that didn't have a chip. And if you wanted to spend your money, you had to get it. Otherwise, you were locked out of your account. You would have to go to the bank and physically withdraw it. But when they implement this type of system, you won't even have an ID to identify yourself to go to the bank and pull your money out. This is where things are headed. Whether people understand that or not, you know, again, the scripture said they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. These are conversations, and this video is 8 months ago. So these are continual conversations that you won't hear on the mainstream, because the mainstream is set up to, through gradualism, press and pressure people into a certain direction. Bitcoin, the hype of crypto in general, was used to a soft pull, a soft push, if you will, toward where we're headed through the Spirit and Power by Shemal Shah, which is the hour of temptation. All right, so let's continue.
Are you pro the technology?
I have a lot of
Do you use it?
opinions. I
Yeah, I
don't
want to
use
hear them
it.
all.
Yeah, I don't use them.
Oh.
I mean, I think the whole idea of getting a lot of people to like use ChatGTP and all of this stuff is to lead us down this path that Kissinger and Schmidt, among others, sort of are charting out for humanity. Where if you, it's pretty much common sense though. Like if you develop a skill, and then don't do it for 10 or 15 years, for example, you kind of forget how to do it, right? Or even, I graduated from university like a little more than 10 years ago. How well do I recall the stuff that I took in university? Not great, right? So there's this whole idea of if you don't use it, you lose it. So if people are depending on AI to tell them where to turn when they're driving their car, and no one uses like actual maps anymore. I mean, I understand that it's convenient, right? And I'm not saying like, oh, we need to go back to the 90s, but right. But I mean, it becomes after a while a slippery slope where people are just having the computer tell them everything to do. Every step of their lives ends up becoming micromanaged to an extent. And the idea is that AI, through all the data that it absorbs about us, knows so much about us. Some of these people say it knows us better than we even know ourselves. There's that allows for an unprecedented degree of manipulation. And the problem is that the people producing and programming AI and ultimately controlling AI and what it can do not have our best interests at heart. And it is not a good idea to basically hand them our brains in a bag, you know?
So again, through that convenience, all right, through that convenience, progression, gradualism, these are things that Esau's putting into the system to basically push people towards this system. All right, so let's go here real quick. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. All right, because again, Esau's painting it like this is safe. This is the progression of humanity, if you will. The Neuralink and all of these different things is just a natural progression of society. But really, it's a cunning hunter leading people into a snare or trap. Because once you're in there, that's when the control game starts. That's when Esau can take the mask off. That's when he can drop the cage. Because once you have it in you, now you're controlled. And now it's just a matter of you doing what they tell you to do or else. And this is why this is so important through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, man. All right. Now, real quick, she mentioned something else. She mentioned that they don't have their best intentions at heart. Because ultimately Esau's heart, all right, is set to how should I say this? It's set to be as God. That's how Esau set himself. He's trying to set himself up as God. All right. So real quick, this is 2 Timothy chapter 2. I want to jump down. Slakia. This is 2 Timothy chapter 1. I was looking for something. No, that's not it. So let me go back here real quick. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:3. And I want to get this in the NLT. It says, when people are saying everything is peaceful and secure, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman's labor pains begin, and there will be no escape. Because once you take that chip, there is no escape. There is no way to get out of that jam. Regardless of what these different camps are telling you, you can't undo that. Once you take that, it is what it is. All right, and this is why there's a punishment for that, man. All right, matter of fact, let's go to that. This is Revelation chapter 14 and 9. And it reads, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Shema Shai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So once you take it, there's no coming back from that. All right, because ultimately that is a physical commitment to Esau. That's a physical display of allegiance to Esau. Now let's also get this. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and 3. And it reads, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God." And how is he doing that? Through technology. You know, he's setting up the infrastructure, and once he does that, it's basically an automated control system. And this is why she made that statement that the people that are in control, they don't have your best interests at heart. They don't. You know, now we're at a time through the spirit where AI can do the majority of the jobs that the majority of people in America, at least, AI could do those jobs. So at that point, there's really no use for a lot of the people that are on Earth. All right, this is why you're going to see these pestilences increase. You're going to see certain things, and it's the elites. All right, pressure from below, pressure from above. And in the midst of that, they're going to get rid of a lot of people. That is a part of their intention as well, is to get rid of a lot of people, to diminish the numbers, and with the people who are remaining, put them under absolute control. All right, yet we understand through the spirit that the elect are going to be saved out of that. All right, real quick, this is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10, and it reads, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." All right, and that hour of temptation is when they mandate this. All right, so what we see, all roads are leading to this path. All roads are leading down this path to where Esau is just going to mandate this. First, there's going to be that social pressure of this is the new thing, get with it, get hip. But eventually, all right, he's going to go from the soft push to the hard, and he's going to mandate it, whether people can receive that or not. All right, so Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yashar Allah, and a sincere salutation to all Yuakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwat, who are believing this word and all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.